Happy March Madness, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Kota Cappers March Madness show here, presented, of course, by the Kota Sports Gambling Network. Before we get into each region, BETKOTA Sportsbook is a South Dakota-owned and operated sportsbook located at the Midnight Star Casino in Deadwood, South Dakota, serving customers all around the state. They're offering a ton of college basketball lines for the March Madness season, including tournament champion odds and much, much, much more. Don't forget to sign up for their bracket challenge. Search BETKOTA, BETKOTA on ESPN. Top three finishers will receive a gift certificate, and the first place winner takes home a custom NFL or MLB jersey of their choice. You can also join the Kota Cappers Bracket Challenge. First place gets a free $200 bet at the BETKOTA Sportsbook. Just search up Kota Cappers on the ESPN Bracket Challenge. Sign up now and receive a free t-shirt as well. If you're the first 25 to sign up for the Kota Cappers Bracket Challenge, you will receive a free t-shirt. Again, follow BETKOTA at BETKOTA on Twitter, along with Kota Cappers on Twitter. Play responsible. Must be 21 years of older to wager. Gambling problems or concerns? Call 1-800-522-4700.
All right, so let's get into the first game of the East bracket. We got the number 1 seed Baylor Bears taking on the 16 seed, the Norfolk State Spartans. That game being played Thursday, March 17th at 1 o'clock on TBS. Again, I should have said this before. These are all games Central Time, which is the best time zone, mind you. Line right now, Baylor minus 21 and over-under of 137. Just a quick note about these teams. Baylor finished the season 26-6, 14-4 in the Big 12. They were co-champs of the Big 12 regular season. Norfolk State, on the other hand, finished the season 24-6, 12-2 in the conference. They won the MEAC regular season and conference tournament to get the automatic qualifier. So I'll get started. So the MEAC is a tough and gritty conference. I covered them on the website. The very, very gritty conference. I wouldn't say this game is an auto cover for Baylor, but I will say that when Norfolk State has played teams outside of the MEAC, they've struggled. They played Xavier. They lost by 40. They played Wichita State. They lost by 13. I just think Baylor's going to cover here. So I actually, although it's not an easy cover, I do think Norfolk State is going to compete. I do think Baylor's going to cover that 21 mark. Pace, what do you got for this game?
Yeah, that's a lot of points. A lot of points. Obviously, Baylor won it last year. No team has, repeated since the Gators and that'd be like 06, 07 or something, I think, right around there. So yeah, that's very interesting. And then in 2012, Norfolk State took down Michigan as a 15 seed, I think. So
Missouri.
Missouri. Yep. Missouri. Yep. Good call, Dan. So again, all that stuff happened decade and plus ago. That doesn't really matter here. Still a big number. Baylor, I don't think they're going to make the Final Four, but I think they can get the cover here. I'm going to take them minus 21.
All right. Sounds good. DJ, what do you got for this game?
I say don't get cute with these 1 versus 16s and take the 1 seed, but I'm actually going to go against that here. I got a couple of reasons. First off, Norfolk State's solid. They beat Appalachian State in the first 4 game last year, and then they got stomped by Gonzaga. But they're bringing back 2 main guys, Joe Bryant and Jalen Hawkins. And on top of that, I think Baylor they're a little banged up right now. I think Baylor just wants to get out of the first round. They just want to win the first round. That's all they're focused on. They're not focused on covering here. And I think this Norfolk State can keep it under 20. It's not asking a lot. And it's just one of those games where I just don't see Baylor running away with it. I see Baylor winning. I see Baylor handling the game, but I don't see them covering, especially since last year they only won by 24 in their first round. They were a far superior team last year, in my opinion. And I think Norfolk State is better than Hampton, who is who they played last year. So give me Norfolk State plus the 21. I'm going to get cute, and we'll see how it goes.
I'm changing my pick. I'm with DJ.
Let's go.
I'm with DJ.
VFC, what do you got for this game?
I think Baylor's a fraud. I think Norfolk State's an even bigger fraud. Give me Baylor.
All right, sounds good. And Dan, wrap it up.
Well, 2 things here. One, Norfolk State is kind of a dirty word dog here because last year's tournament, my brother and I had a 7-way parlay. The last game we needed was Norfolk State first half plus 19.5 against Gonzaga, and the Spartans lost the first half by 20.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Second thing here, Pace, you
That's
touched
actually
on
good.
it, how nobody's repeated since Florida. Actually, that Florida team was the last defending champion to even get out of the first weekend.
Hey,
So, yeah, no defending champion has made it to the Sweet 16 in 15 years. I do not think Baylor will lose this game. I do think Baylor is in deep trouble against North Carolina in the second round, but I think that this line is a little bit too high. I think Baylor wins this by like 15, and I'm going to not learn my lesson from last year and go with the Spartans plus the 21.
Okay. Sounds good. Much respect for the MEAC champs. So we appreciate that here on this podcast. So they are going to take on the 8-9 matchup between North Carolina and Marquette. This game being played March 17th at 3:30 on TBS. Just some notes. North Carolina finished the season 24-9, 15-5 in the ACC. They were third. They have quality wins over Virginia, and they stomped Duke at Cameron. And Marquette, on the flip side, finished the regular season 19-12, 15-5 in the conference, where they received the 5 seed. They have quality wins over Illinois, Providence, and Villanova, who they swept in the regular season. Note line right now, we got North Carolina -3 and an over-under of 152. DJ, surprise us all here. What do you got for this pick?
This is tough. Marquette's unis are tight. They're always dope. But North Carolina's my team, my squad. I think it might be a little gritty, but I think North Carolina gets it done. So, with my allegiance, I'll make a homer pick here. I'll take North Carolina -3. But the real bet I like is the over here. There's a lot of money coming in on the under for reasons unknown. And the over's only moved up. I believe it's moved up from 150 to 152. So a lot of people bet on the under, but the over's moving up. So I really like the over here. Both these teams can score. North Carolina 11-5 at hitting the over on the road this season. So yeah, I'm gonna go over is my better pick, but I have to go North Carolina.
All right, sounds good. Dan, what do you got for this game?
I mean, this line should be a little bit higher than 3. I mean, North Carolina is playing very good basketball right now, and Marquette's coming out of the Big East, and I am just not impressed with that league whatsoever. I think North Carolina has an outstanding path to possibly make a run, not only in this game, but possibly get to the regional final. So, yeah, I think the Tar Heels -3 is an excellent pick.
All right, sounds good. Pace, what do you got for this game?
Marquette lost to DePaul, 13 days ago. DePaul sucks. Like, DePaul is so horrible. Again, what have you done for me lately? That's not good. If I'm trying to take Marquette here, I don't like that March 2nd loss to DePaul. Obviously, this is gonna be a good game as far as like you got that BETKOTA kid from UNC, and then you got this Justin Lewis kid too, the forward, all Big East forward. So that should be a good game. Going to be some stars here at this game. So I don't know. I'd lean North Carolina. Would I be surprised if Marquette wins? Probably not. But I just can't bet against UNC because I think I like their second round matchup too. So I'm going UNC here.
All right, sounds good. VFC, what do you got for this game?
Yeah, I think UNC is a much better team than Marquette on both sides of the ball. Especially, I know this is a big if, but if they can play like they played against Duke, I think they'll just have no problem with this game. I feel like 3 is way too low here. I love North Carolina in this game. This is my most confident 8-9 matchup. Yeah, I'm all in on North Carolina here.
All right, sounds good. And I want everyone to go on Twitter and say #thank you, Kyle, because I'm taking Marquette +3 to not have a group send. I just think that Marquette has lived to be an underdog all season long. Pace touched on it forward. Justin Lewis was all Big East first team, averaged 17 points per game and almost 8 rebounds. I really like Marquette. I think they can surprise some people in the tournament. I like Marquette +3 to save the group send. #thank you, Kyle.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, sir.
#cash Texas Southern.
There you go, Dan.
All right, very good. Okay, so now we go to the 5-12 matchup between St. Mary's taking on the winner of Wyoming and Indiana. The Gales finished the regular season 25-7, 12-3 in the conference, which was put them at the 2 seed in the West Coast Conference. They do have a quality win over Gonzaga. The game being played at 6:20 on TBS. They're awaiting the playing game between Wyoming, who finished the regular season 25-8, 13-5 in the Mountain West Conference, which is 4th. They have a quality win over Colorado State, and they were an impressive 14-1 at home this season. Meanwhile, Indiana finished the regular season 20-13. They were 9-11. They are the 9th team in the Big 12, in the Big 10, to get in. And they made it all the way to the Big 10 semifinals. They upset the number 1 seed Illinois. The Hoosiers also have a quality win over Michigan and Arizona. Obviously, no line. We're awaiting the result of the playing game. So let's start with Pace. What do you got for this game?
I think everybody's gonna be on Wyoming or Indiana, whoever wins that game. I don't think there's gonna be too many people on St. Mary's. I could be wrong. That's just the vibe I get. They got a top 25 defense. They score a ton of points as well. I'm gonna take St. Mary's here. I think they're gonna be undervalued, so I'm gonna go with St. Mary's.
All right, sounds good. Dan, what do you got for this game?
After watching them in the Big Ten tournament, if they can play like that, Indiana is going to take out both Wyoming and St. Mary's. Like, I get that St. Mary's handled Gonzaga, but I just don't think the Gales really have anyone to bang with Trace Jackson Davis inside. And Xavier Johnson is playing very well right now. So I think Wyoming is a home court hero. I don't see them winning that game in a couple hours here. So I like Indiana to win tonight and take out St. Mary's, and the Hoosiers could be making a run here.
Dan, I want you to repeat everything you say and just put it in my mouth, because that's exactly what I was going to say. If Wyoming wins, I think St. Mary's is going to advance, but I do see Indiana beating Wyoming. Indiana is quite kind of on a roll right now. I think that they will beat Wyoming, because like Dan said, Wyoming is kind of pretty much good at home. And I think that they will actually beat St. Mary's too, because like Dan said, they just beat Gonzaga this year. I didn't see any other big time wins on their schedule. So I like Indiana to beat Wyoming in the playing game, and then Indiana to upset St. Mary's. VFC, what do you got for this game?
I think that this, like Pace said, Indiana or Wyoming's going to be a super popular pick here, and St. Mary's is a team that will slow you down and beat you up, but I'm really not sure they can handle either of these teams. I don't think they've been battle tested quite as much as these teams have been. I think this will be a popular pick, but Indiana's red hot, and if Wyoming were to be able to knock off Indiana, I think that shows something, the fact that they can go play on the road. And so I'll take the winner of this game tonight against St. Mary's.
All right, sounds good. And DJ, wrap it up.
Once again, spoiler alert, Indiana will win this game against Wyoming. Jackson is a beast. He's going off. I don't know why there's so much. I don't know how St. Mary's got a 5 seed, to be honest with you. I don't see much from them. The fact that Loyola got a 10 seed and St. Mary's got a 5, ridiculous, but that's a whole nother thing. Indiana's rolling here. They'll cover, they'll upset St. Mary's. Like I said, Tracy Jackson, isn't it?
Trace Jackson Davis.
Yeah, Trace. Yeah, that dude is insane. He's really, really talented, and he will carry this Indiana team to a couple of dubs for sure.
And Pace, I did hear the comment after what I said too, so don't think that went unnoticed. I expect nothing less out of you, though, to be honest.
Yes, sir.
That's our CEO, ladies and gentlemen.
Spice it up, baby.
You got a funny guy here.
All right, so let's move on now to the 4-13 match between the UCLA Bruins, the 4 seed, taking on the 13-seeded Akron Zips. Game being played March 17th at 8:50 on TBS. UCLA finished the regular season 25-7, 15-5 in the conference. They finished runner-up in the Pac-12 regular season and tournament. They also have some quality wins against Villanova and Arizona. On the flip side, Akron, the 13 seed, finished the regular season 24-9, 14-6 in the MAC. They were the 4th seed. They ended up winning the MAC conference tournament to receive the automatic bid. Line right now, UCLA minus 13.5 and an over-under of 128.5. VFC starts off.
UCLA is one of my favorite teams in this tournament. They're experienced. They're loaded. I remember when you and DJ were doing the gambling feud college basketball preview, again, I think it just kind of clicked for me. I was like, I loved UCLA last year and I love them even more this year. And obviously they struggled a lot in the regular season, but I think they just couldn't really put it together. And I think everybody seems to be pretty healthy right now. If they can finally put it together, I think they're going to be awesome in this tournament. Akron is red hot, but unfortunately for the Zips, I think UCLA's offense is going to make them pay for that. Again, they kind of got into this game. Got into this tournament. Kent State had a lot of guys suspended, for their better players suspended for half of that MAC championship. I just think UCLA's offense is going to be too much for them. I like UCLA minus 14, and I really like the over here.
Thank you for being one of the 5 listeners for Gambling Feud, BFC. We appreciate it. I'm right there with you. I like UCLA minus 13.5. Johnny Juzang has been really, really solid this year. He's a semifinalist for the Wooden Award. And Akron doesn't meet the eye test. Not only that, they also don't have any stats or accolades to prove they can beat UCLA. I just don't think Akron. This is probably the 4 seed I'm most confident in covering and winning. So I really like UCLA minus 13.5 in this game. Dan, what do you got for this game?
Akron doesn't have stats, doesn't have pedigree. Another thing they don't have is seniors. There's not a senior on this roster. So I think this team is a year away. I think Akron is going to be very dangerous next year, but they're not good enough to take down UCLA this season. I think UCLA is going to cover this one.
All right, sounds good. Pace, what do you got for this game?
I think this is the easiest cover of the weekend. I think this is the easiest one. Or sorry, I should say of Thursday. We'll go with that. Right? Is this game on Thursday?
Yes, this is a late Thursday game.
Yeah, so this is the easiest cover of Thursday. At some point, the Zips are going to have to run out of steam here. They were the 4 seed in the MAC. They took down the top seed and the top 2 seeds. So at some point, their run's going to run out here. I'm going to take UCLA minus 13.5. They're going to win by 20.
Ooh.
Alt spread. Let's go.
Ooh, alt spreading it. All right, I like it. DJ, wrap it up.
I guess I'm going to be the person that takes the left path while you guys take the right path here.
Boom.
Yeah, this is interesting. I'm starting to regret my decision. This is different for UCLA. Last year, they came in as the underdog, and they just rode the underdog momentum all through the tournament. They never had pressure on them at any point in time in game because the expectations weren't there. They were just riding a wave. This is different from this year. They're favored. They're hyped. They have all the hype from last year. And I think that does benefit them, and I think they will win. But saying that, I don't know if they're covering first game here. I think they could come out a little slow maybe, or just trying to kind of get their feet wet back in the tournament. And I think Akron covers. Akron's head coach, John Gross, was the coach at Ohio University who did have some success in the tournament. He also has Ali and Enrique Freeman, who are 2 ballers, 2 studs. Yep, see, he gets it. But yeah, no, I think Akron comes out here, and I think they compete, and I think they keep it close. And I think UCLA is just trying to get through the first round. I don't really think they're trying to blow anybody out. I think they're just trying to accept the role as more of a favorite. And I think they kind of, get through this first round in more of a tougher way. On the flip side, Akron is 9-2 as an underdog this season at covering the spread. So yeah, I'll ride with that. Give me the Zips plus 13.5, and I hope UCLA wins by like 12.
Thank you, DJ, for not making that be a group send.
I do what I can.
All right, so now let's move on to the opposite side, or the lower half of the bracket. Let's go to the 6-11 match between Texas and Virginia Tech. Game being played Friday, March 18th at 3:30 on TBS. The Longhorns finished the regular season 21-11. They were 10-8 in the conference. They're a 4 seed. They have quality wins over Tennessee and Kansas. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech finished the regular season 23-12. They were 11-9 in the conference. They were the 7 seed, but they ended up beating the 3 seed UNC, the 2 seed Notre Dame, and the 1 seed Duke to win the ACC conference and get the automatic bid. Line right now, Texas minus 1.5 and an over-under of 123.5. DJ, what do you got for this game?
Yeah, this is kind of momentum versus just better defense, honestly. Texas plays insanely good defense. They're crazy athletic, and Virginia Tech is riding an insanely hot wave, running through the ACC tournament. I'm going to actually go Virginia Tech here. Texas is 3-10 at covering the spread on the road. I think Texas plays insane defense, like I mentioned, but Texas can't score. That's just like a fact. Like they just struggle to score. And when they do, it's a little gross. It's kind of like miss a shot, get handed a rebound and lay it in. Like they just can't get good buckets and good consistent offense. And their defense will be good, but I don't think it's good enough to keep Virginia Tech from riding their hot wave. And I think Virginia Tech continues to ride that emotion and that momentum and gets the upset here. So yeah, I'll go Vatek here.
Sounds good. I'll go next. For me personally, I looked at this game and I saw 123 over under. I'm like, why in the heck could that be? And then I look at both these teams' defense. They are top 10 defenses in the country in terms of points scored per game. So that scares me a little bit as far as the over under goes. So I figured the best way to go is to go on the spread here. But I'm with DJ. You go with the hot hand. Like I said, they beat Duke, they beat Notre Dame, and they beat North Carolina, all in the ACC tournament. I think that's going to be enough for them to keep their hot hand going. And sometimes they say the best teams that are hot going into March are the teams that are going to go further. I also am with DJ. I like Virginia Tech plus 1.5 to pull off the upset. Pace, what do you got for this game?
Oh, I could see this going either way, but I kind of like Virginia Tech over 61.5 points. I don't know. They're coming in hot. They're shooting really well. They got 4 or 5 guys that shoot better than 35% from beyond the arc. If they get hot, they could score a ton. They could score a ton here. So I'm going to take Virginia Tech over. I think I got it at 61.
All right. Sounds good. Dan, what do you got for this game?
I mean, these aren't only 2 of the best defensive teams in the country. These are 2 of the slowest paced teams in the country. So I just don't think there's going to be a lot of possessions in this game. I think this is going to be a first team to 60 wins, and I think that team's going to be Virginia Tech. So
how about first game to 62?
I like the Hokies in the under. Maybe they get to 62 if there's some fouls lay it, but I'm remembering that game last year where Texas got picked off by Abilene Christian, and I want to say the final score of that game, I'm looking it up right now because I don't remember it, but I want to say it was in the 50s, 53 to 52, and I mean Chris Beard is an even slower paced coach than Shaka Smart was last year. So yeah, I think this game is going to be very low scoring.
And that's saying something too, to be slower paced than Shaka Smart.
Yeah. Well, Shaka's actually turned it up this year, but he certainly didn't at Texas.
Nope, that's for certain. VFC, wrap it up.
Yeah, this is a super interesting matchup to me, and I feel like this is one where almost everybody's going to be on Virginia Tech. And I think Texas's defense might have a little bit of the edge, but Vatek is so hot, I can't deny that. Give me Vatek.
All right, very good. Sounds good. Well, let's move on down the bracket now to the 3-14 matchup between Purdue and Yale. Game being played Friday, March 18th at 1 o'clock on CBS. Purdue finished the regular season 27-6, 14-6 in the conference. They were the 3 seed. They have some quality wins over Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, and Villanova. On the flip side, the Yale Bulldogs finished the regular season 19-11. They were 11-3 in the conference where they had the 2 seed. They got the automatic bid by upsetting the team who I predicted to win the Ivy League, the Princeton Tigers, in the Ivy League championship game to move on to the March Madness tournament. The line right now, Purdue minus 15.5 and over under of 143. So I'll get started for this game. So I told DJ on Gambling Feud, out of all the they're saying Power 6 now, they're including Big East, whatever. But out of the non-Power 6 conferences, I love watching the Ivy League and covering the Ivy League. So Yale's a really, really fun team. They got first team all Ivy League player and Azar Swain on the team, who is averaging 19.2 points per game, shooting 35% from beyond the arc. He was big time against Princeton. I think he's going to surprise some people, but I'm not so confident with them against the spread. But I do think they're going to score a lot of points against Purdue. So I like the over of 143 in this game. Pace, what do you got for this game?
Yeah, Kyle mentioned they're Yale's best player. He's a guard. I just think Purdue's length is going to trouble this Yale team. So I'm going to take Purdue here minus 15.5.
All right. VFC, what do you got for this game?
Yeah, I don't think Yale has the best offense in the world, and that's not how you hang with Purdue. I think this might be a pretty close matchup, honestly, though. I think Purdue is just so streaky. They're just so hit or miss. And I feel like this is just, I don't know, this is just one of those gut feeling plays. I'll take Yale on the points. It seems like a lot of points, and I like the under here as well.
All right, sounds good. Dan, what do you got for this game?
I mean, the way Yale plays is exactly the wrong way to handle Purdue. Like, Yale pushes the tempo, and that just plays right into Purdue's hands because Purdue can score quickly, and Yale doesn't have anyone who's going to be able to match up with Ivy or Edey. I'm worried about Purdue because they could easily make the Final Four. They could easily lose second round, but I think that the Boilers can handle this one here, and I think this is going to go over the total.
Okay, sounds good. DJ, wrap it up.
Yeah, Purdue is one of those weird teams where they either get bounced earlier or they seem to make a run. So this one's kind of scary, but I think Dan and kind of everybody else kind of hit on it really well. Purdue likes to push tempo. Yale likes to push tempo. Purdue has far superior athletes, and I think they just kind of run away with this one. Purdue's got the better athletes here. They both want to push tempo. Give me the better athletes. I'll take Purdue here.
All right, sounds good. Before we move on, I wanted to mention something. Does anybody on this podcast listen to Pardon My Take? Every
once in a while.
Okay, well, I was just saying that they were talking about the bracket with John Ronstein, and Big Cat called Zach Edey the Yao Ming of college basketball. I just thought that was funny.
Good poll.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to the 7-10 matchup between Murray State and San Francisco. Game being played Thursday, March 17 at 8:40 on CBS. The Racers of Murray State finished the regular season 30-2. They were 18-0 in conference play. They're only one of two teams to be undefeated in conference play. They won the Ohio Valley regular season and the tournament. I believe both their losses came to Auburn and Tennessee Tech, I believe, were their two losses. And San Francisco, meanwhile, finished the regular season 24-9, 10-6 in the conference where they were fourth. They made it to the West Coast Conference semifinals. Line right now, Murray State -1.5 and an over-under of 136.5. Dan, what do you got for this game?
And the thing that really worries me is I'm not sold on San Francisco and whether they're really that good of a team or if they're just getting credit for losing to Gonzaga and St. Mary's. And San Francisco has given a credible effort in those games, but I just don't really see that they've done anything all that impressive so far. I mean, Murray State, the other loss was East Tennessee State, by the way. Murray State, I think that they're a better shooting team and a better rebounding team. And I think that the Racers are just going to be so relieved to not see Janai Broome after what he almost did to them in the OVC final, that I think they handle San Francisco. And let's be honest, Murray State wants that matchup with Kentucky. Like, that would just be a dream for the Racers. So I think they're focused on getting that, and I think they make it happen.
All right, sounds good. DJ, what do you got for this game?
Yeah, Dan kind of hit on the main points I was thinking. I don't really know where San Francisco's getting all this hype from. Looking at their resume, I'm just like, I don't see it. Whereas Murray State has been almost flawless all season. And I still think they have a chip on their shoulder, which is, important when, you still played this well. It's different when you're Gonzaga and you're number one all year, but Murray State, really hasn't gotten super respected. So I think that chip on their shoulder, plus just having, playing almost flawlessly all season, I think they at least get through this first round. Also kind of like the under here, San Francisco 5-10 at hitting the over on the road, and Murray State is 6-11 at hitting the over on the road. So combined, you're talking 21-11 at hitting the under. So yeah, I kind of like the under, but Murray State for sure. Pencil it in, lock it in.
All right, sounds good. VFC, what do you have for this game?
I think this is probably, if not my first favorite matchup, my second favorite matchup between this and Sparty and Davidson. I think it's a crazy matchup. Both teams are ridiculously talented. I think we're also going to see more Murray State fans at this game. However, I don't know. I just feel like San Francisco plays really good defense. I think they're a little more battle tested. I see it going their way, but this is a huge toss up for me. But I'm going to lean San Francisco. But I do like the under, like DJ said. I'm a big fan of this under.
All right, sounds good. For me personally, I really like Murray State. I've been big on them all year. Betting on them, I've been really, really profitable. I really, really like KJ Williams, their forward, averaging 18.2 points per game, 8.6 rebounds. I think he's very, very solid. I think he's going to give the Dons a lot of troubles. I really, really like Murray State. I know people are having them beat Kentucky. I don't know about that. I think they'll compete with Kentucky, and I think they'll be one of Kentucky's hardest matchup in this corner of the bracket, but I don't think they'll have problems with San Francisco. I like Murray State -1.5. And Pace, wrap it up.
The reason, Kyle, that you've been winning so much money is because Murray State hasn't faced an NCAA tournament team since he lost to Auburn in 3 days before Christmas. So they haven't played a ton of great teams. Obviously, 30-2 is very, very impressive, but San Francisco, you always talk about storylines and coaches who kind of jump onto the big scene here. And Todd Golden from San Francisco, he's like 36 years old. He's got these guys playing. He's going to leave probably after the season and take a Power 5 job if San Francisco lets him go. And so I don't know. I just think San Francisco money line. I think that's a solid play here. Yeah, Murray State's got a lot of hype. That Kentucky matchup in the round 2, yeah, that gets some hype as well. But San Francisco's no joke. So like VFC, I know he's taking San Francisco. I don't necessarily lean. I don't just lean San Francisco. Give me San Francisco money line.
You've been talking to PG too much today, haven't you? All right, and to wrap up this corner of the bracket, let's go to the 2-15 match between the 2-seed Kentucky Wildcats taking on the 15-seed St. Peter's Peacocks. That game being played March 17th at 6:10 on CBS. The Wildcats finished the regular season 26-7, 14-4 in SEC conference play, where they received the 2 seed. They have quality wins this year over North Carolina, Tennessee, and Kansas. Meanwhile, on the flip side, the St. Peter's Peacocks finished the regular season 19-11, 14-6 in the conference, where they received a 2 seed, and they won the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. Say that 3 times. They won that tournament to get the automatic bid. Line right now, Kentucky -17.5 and an over-under of 132.5. VFC, what do you got for this game?
Kentucky's one of my favorite teams in this tournament. I love Kentucky in this tournament, and I don't think St. Pete's can keep up with them for the whole game, but 17.5 is a lot of points, and St. Pete's plays pretty good defense. I like St. Pete's here in the under. That being said, I'm going to take Kentucky very far in this tournament, and maybe that's a bad thing that I'm taking St. Pete's in the points here, but yeah, I like them here. That's a lot of points.
All right, sounds good. Pace, what do you got for this game?
Yeah, St. Pete's as VFC. I like that even better than St. Peter's. St. Pete's, I like it. I think they're the best team in the tournament against the spread, like 21-12 or something like that. They're damn high on the against the spread ranking. So again, Kentucky shouldn't have any trouble winning this contest. I know Kentucky and some people that love Kentucky are kind of worried about the guard play. Of course, in March Madness, you always got to have strong guard play, not necessarily the strongest guard play for Kentucky. So 17.5 is a lot. I'm going to, again, the trends, baby. You got to stick with the team that's hot against the spread. I'm going to take St. Pete's.
All right, sounds good. I'm not going to stop this train. I'm also going to go with Pace and VFC. 17.5, a lot of points. I don't think that Kentucky's going to cover that. I do think they win by double digits, though. I don't know if there's anybody even on this corner of the bracket that's going to be able to contain Oscar Tshiebwe. That's my pick for player of the year. I don't really know if it's much of a debate right now, but Tshiebwe's been unbelievable all season long. I really like him in this matchup. I do think St. Peter's covers 17.5, but I do think Kentucky wins by double digits. DJ, what do you got?
I thought I was going to be the only one on St. Pete's, but you guys seem to be riding the wave. Yeah, they're 13-4 at covering the spread on the road, 8-3 as an underdog covering the spread. They play a very slow and methodical offense. Their offensive efficiency is 259th in the country, and their defense ranks number 34. So I'm going to take St. Pete's, but to hedge, I will take the under. And the reason why I would take the under is if Kentucky just runs away and is just too athletic, St. Pete's isn't going to score. Like, they just will not be able to score. And Kentucky, they'll score, but they're not going to be able to score as much as they want. And I think the game will be very lopsided if it does, go Kentucky's way. And there won't be late game fouling because it'll be a blowout. So I really like the under here just because, St. Pete's is an under machine. They're 1-11 at hitting the over versus teams that average more than 72 points per game. They're 4-11 when the line's between 132 and 145. Like, this team just hits unders. So yeah, give me the under. Give me St. Pete's. I think that methodical offense can keep it close and kind of mess up Kentucky's flow a little bit. They want to get out and running. St. Pete's wants to slow it down. So we'll see how that goes. But Kentucky's athletes, they could run away with it. But yeah, give me the Cocks, give me the Peacocks and the under.
Go.
All right, and Dan, wrap it up.
St. Peter's has been one of my plays all year. I've been consistently hitting on them pretty much every time they play, but this is not going to happen. Like, if you take a look at St. Peter's games, this is a team that when they win, they cover the spread. When they lose, they do not cover the spread. They have 2 covers all year where they lost the game straight up. They do not have rebounders like Oscar Tshiebwe in the Metro Atlantic Conference, and I don't see this game as being much of a contest. St. Peter's has done brilliantly to get here, but I'll be surprised if this stays within 20.
Okay.
That sucks.
Hey, he saved us from our group send, so we've had a couple of those where we had some saves, so that was good. All right, fellas, just to wrap up the East end of the bracket, really, really quick. Final 4 predictions. What do we got? VFC, who do you got coming out of the East?
Kentucky. It was always Kentucky.
I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm with VFC. It was always Oscar Tshiebwe. It was always Kentucky. I'm taking Kentucky as well. Dan, who do you have winning coming out of the East?
I mean, I got to ride with the Wildcats. If it's not Kentucky, it's going to be Purdue. I think the other half of the bracket is going to be a big surprise. Like, my Sweet 16, I have Kentucky, Purdue, North Carolina, and Indiana. So I think that it's going to be very interesting. But yeah, I don't see anyone stopping Tshiebwe in this one. Edie and Trevion Williams can at least make it interesting, but Purdue's just doesn't play enough defense for me.
Mm-hmm. Pace, who do you got coming out of this end of the bracket?
My 4 teams are UCLA, UNC, Purdue, and I was going to say UConn. No, Kentucky. But surprising pick here. I'm going UNC.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay. Interesting.
I think you him for like plus 3,000 to win the regional.
Yeah, I got him at plus 2,800 this morning.
Nice.
You sprinkle, or did you put a decent unit on?
Oh, no, just a sprinkle, but yeah.
Just a half Bitcoin.
Yeah, half Bitcoin. Yeah.
DJ, who do you got winning the East?
It's tough to follow up Paces, and I swear that VFC said he loved UCLA.
I love UCLA. I love Kentucky more, but UCLA, I think that's going to be a great Elite Eight matchup. That's what I have.
Yeah, I'm going to go bold here, and I'm going to go Purdue, because either Purdue is going to lose right away, or this team is good enough to make a run. They're super talented. They're super long. So I'm going to bank on them to make a run, but I would not be surprised if they get upset in one of the first 2 rounds and I look like an idiot. So it's one or the other. It's all in or not.
They're not losing to Yale, but Virginia Tech's going to be a tough second rounder.
Dan, if they lose to Yale, this is solely your fault for me looking like an idiot, okay?
If they lose to Yale, I'm the one who looks like an idiot.
We both look like idiots, okay? It's decided.
Me more so than you. I just saw Purdue play against Penn State.
Yeah, that's true.
DJ, I love how you say you're going bold and then take a 3 seed.
I was thinking that too.
You all took the Kentucky.
I took UNC. Come on, that's bold.
Pace
No,
with an
you don't
seed.
count. Pace
That's
is
bold,
delusional, okay? As a North Carolina fan, Pace is delusional right now.
That's not delusional given their draw. That could happen.
No.
They can beat Baylor. They can beat Baylor.
They can
They
absolutely
could be Baylor. No, they could be Baylor. I'm not surprised. I would not be surprised if they beat Baylor at all. I would not. But to get past
DJ, are you telling me in one game that Carolina has no chance whatsoever to beat Purdue or Kentucky?
I just don't think they have like the ability to string multiple games together in this big moment when they haven't done it in a while. It's been a hot minute. I mean, Marcus Page, was that the last year when they lost to Jalen Brunson? Because then they won it that next year. So yeah, that was the last time they've made a run in the tournament.
Yep. All right, fellas. Well, that's going to do it for the East end of the bracket. Be sure you check out all the other videos on our YouTube page, Kota Sports Gambling Network, and be sure to follow the network at KotaCappers on Twitter. Good luck with your brackets, and we'll see what happens.